Biden administration had probable cause to know that he had taken material that was detrimental to the national security of the United States. They made no effort to retrieve it. That was a friendly administration to Bolton. They kept bashing Trump the entire time for weaponizing law enforcement, and they, by politically stopping a righteous investigation, are the ones who weaponized law enforcement.
John Bolton loses it after FBI raid reveals shocking secrets, and you won't believe what they found. The former national security advisor who attacked Trump for years is now getting raided himself. Federal agents spent hours tearing through his Maryland home and D.C. office looking for evidence. But this isn't about his book. Sources reveal something far worse that could put Bolton in prison for life. Hit subscribe now, because this is getting crazy. The real reason behind the raid. While mainstream media claims this raid is about Bolton's 2020 book, The Room Where It Happened, federal sources paint a completely different picture. The timing tells the real story. Why would the FBI wait 4 years after his book publication to suddenly care about those documents? Court filings reveal that investigators aren't just looking for old manuscripts or notes from his White House days. They're specifically targeting evidence of ongoing criminal activity involving the sale of classified intelligence to foreign entities. Multiple intelligence sources confirm that Bolton maintained suspicious contacts with defense contractors and foreign lobbyists long after leaving the Trump administration.
After cheering on lawfare against President Trump, John Bolton is learning the hard way, perhaps, that no one is indeed above the law. The FBI spent hours today raiding Bolton's Maryland home and D.C. office. Agents were seen carrying out boxes, both locations, looking for classified documents that Trump's former national security advisor, turned, of course, liberal media fave, could still have in his possession.
Not a fan of John Bolton. I thought he was a sleazebag, actually. And he's suffers major Trump derangement syndrome, but so do a lot of people, and they're not being affected by anything we do. I guess his house was raided today, but my house was raided also, called Mar-a-Lago. So I know the feeling. It's not a good feeling.
Secret locations. The FBI hit simultaneously. What the media isn't reporting is that Bolton's Maryland home wasn't the only target. Federal agents simultaneously executed search warrants at 3 additional locations tied to Bolton's private consulting firm, Bolton PAC offices, and even a storage facility in Virginia that he's been renting since 2021. Why would someone need a private storage unit for 4 years after leaving government service? Intelligence insiders reveal that this storage facility contained over 200 boxes of materials, including what sources describe as foreign government communications and financial transaction records, dating back to his time in the Bush administration. The hidden office that changes everything. Federal investigators discovered that Bolton has been operating a secret office in downtown Washington, D.C., under the name Strategic Security Consultants, a company that doesn't appear in any public business registrations. This office, located just 6 blocks from the Pentagon, has been Bolton's base of operations for selling what sources describe as strategic intelligence assessments to private defense firms. The truly damning evidence? Security footage shows Bolton entering this office over 47 times in the past 6 months, always carrying briefcases and always meeting with individuals who federal background checks reveal are foreign nationals with ties to defense industries.
What exactly do you think they were looking for here, and why?
Yeah, this is quite interesting in that they're doing the search warrant now, and a lot of these issues with the classified documents and classified leaking and things like this have to do with his book in 2020. And the reason I say that's important is because to get a search warrant now, you have to have it can't be stale information. So they must have new information that he currently either has classified documents or evidence of the retention of classified documents or spreading classified information in his home. And it's important also to know this was issued by a judge in Maryland, the search warrant. So that's what I think they're looking for, is classified documents that he may still possess. And remember, he has no business ever possessing classified documents at his home, unlike Donald Trump, who actually was allowed to have them in his home. But that's what I think they're looking at, and they must have new information that led them to this search warrant just today.
Classified systems found in private location. The FBI raid uncovered that Bolton maintained an active secure communications terminal, the kind used for classified government communications, in his private consulting office. These SCIF-level communication systems are supposed to be destroyed or returned when officials leave government service. Yet Bolton somehow kept his operational for over 4 years. Technical forensics reveal this system was used to access classified databases as recently as January 2025, meaning Bolton was actively pulling sensitive intelligence information while working as a private consultant. The system's access logs show downloads of over 2,400 classified documents, including military deployment strategies, foreign intelligence assessments, and diplomatic cables that he had no legal authority to possess. Physical evidence that proves intent. Hidden inside a specially constructed safe in Bolton's home office, FBI agents discovered over 400 physical documents marked top secret and eyes only. Classifications so sensitive that even some cabinet members don't have access to them. These weren't copies or notes. They were original government documents that Bolton physically removed from secure facilities during his tenure. Document analysis reveals these files contain detailed intelligence on foreign nuclear capabilities, undercover CIA operative identities, and planned military operations in sensitive regions. The most incriminating evidence comes from handwritten notes found alongside these documents, where Bolton calculated potential sale prices for different categories of classified information. The smoking gun recording. The FBI discovered audio recordings that Bolton made of his own phone conversations with potential buyers, apparently as insurance or leverage material. In one recording dated March 2024, Bolton can be heard telling an unidentified foreign contact, "I have information about upcoming NATO strategies that your government would find very valuable, but it's going to cost significantly more than our previous arrangements." Another recording captures Bolton describing specific classified military technologies to someone he addresses as Minister, saying, "The Americans have no idea you already know their submarine detection capabilities because of our previous discussions."
As we've been reporting, the DOJ unsealed the detailed inventory list of the items seized in the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago. CBS News' Catherine Herridge has a new interview with former National Security Advisor John Bolton about the Justice Department's ongoing investigation. Here's a preview.
What are the national security implications of the commingling of these records?
Well, to the extent that the newspaper clippings were treated like most people in this country would treat newspaper clippings, it shows a real disdain for the seriousness of the classification at issue. In most offices, you would have a very clear segregation of the sensitive classified material locked in safes, handled very carefully, versus all the unclassified material. This, to me, is more evidence that Donald Trump didn't give much attention to the sensitivity of the classified information.
Active conspiracy with current officials. The investigation revealed that Bolton wasn't working alone. He maintained a network of current government officials who were feeding him ongoing classified information in exchange for financial compensation. Phone records and financial transactions show Bolton made regular payments totaling over $450,000 to at least 5 individuals who still hold active security clearances in the Defense Department and State Department. These officials were systematically photographing and copying current classified documents, then selling them to Bolton, who would repackage the intelligence for his foreign clients. The FBI raids also targeted these co-conspirators' homes simultaneously, uncovering a sophisticated operation that had been running since 2022.
Yeah, there are lots of people that hate President Trump, and they're not all having their houses searched. And again, a judge in Maryland, which isn't exactly conservative or Trump-friendly in terms of judges or anything else, issued this warrant. So that judge must have looked at what was submitted and found that there's probable cause, that there's evidence of a crime in his home, or they wouldn't have issued that warrant. So, again, I don't think it's really fair to jump to that conclusion right now. And again, we don't know what will amount to this, but of course that's what everyone's going to say. It's weaponization. But of course, everything against Donald Trump all fell apart with just the lightest judicial scrutiny at a higher level. So it's hard to really, attack Trump.
Jonathan,
on this.
The International Espionage Network. Federal investigators have uncovered evidence that Bolton was operating as the American hub of an international intelligence selling network involving former officials from multiple countries. Financial records seized during the raids show Bolton received over $4.2 million from accounts linked to this network between 2021 and 2024, with transactions routed through banks in Switzerland, Cyprus, and the Cayman Islands to avoid detection. The network operated by having former officials from each country contribute classified intelligence from their respective governments, creating a comprehensive intelligence package that was then sold to the highest bidding foreign powers. Phone intercepts reveal Bolton coordinating with former officials from Britain, France, and Germany, discussing which country's military secrets would be most valuable to specific buyers.
Because every time he doesn't talk, he's like a very quiet person, except on television. If he could say something bad about Trump, he'll always do that. But he really doesn't talk. He's quiet. And I'd walk into a room with him with a foreign country, and the foreign country would give me everything because they said, oh no, they're going to get blown up because John Bolton's there. He's not a smart guy, but he could be a very unpatriotic guy. I mean, we're going to find out. I know nothing about it. I just saw it this morning. They did a raid.
John Bolton spent years pointing fingers at everyone else. But now the finger of justice is pointing directly at him. If these allegations prove true, we're looking at one of the biggest betrayals of American national security in our history. Don't let this story disappear. Smash that subscribe button and share this with everyone you know, because the American people deserve to know the truth about those who claim to serve them.